What are you doing, Dave?
Yo,
It's hot.
Well, just got to go and pick up the parts car from the panel shop because the M5 is making such good progress that it's nearly ready for paint. They don't need the parts car anymore.
So, this episode is going to be a video on Dave's Supercharged M5. It's been gone for 2 weeks, maybe longer.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of guys have been asking how the progress is going. It's been a big job, but we'll see you guys in a second and we'll give you the rundown on what's happened with the repair.
LS Boss, look at that. Ooh, baby.
All right. So unfortunately, we don't have our own trailer. So every time we need to go anywhere, we come and use these U-Haul ones. They're actually not too bad. This one is the first time I've ever seen a U-Haul beaver tail trailer. And it's a good 4 inches lower than the standard one over there. So it might be actually a bit easier to get a beamer on it. That's great. They're spoiling us. Anyway, let's get it loaded and connected. So with this little downwards hill thing, we're going to have no drama getting it on the ramp, which is a bit of an issue because this car that we're picking up is the parts car and it does not run at all. Okay, so probably should have filmed better, but we're pushing this up a hill right now and I'm working the brake with one foot, pushing with the other. Hey, we're good.
You gonna be right to go that way?
This is easy. Hey, Dave.
I think she's a bit lighter than they are when they're fully
A complete car. Hope we don't get a brake failure.
You're getting some speed up, bro.
Brakes work, we're good. All right, leave it there. We'll set the ramps up. So guys, I've got to basically keep enough speed up to stay on the trailer.
Come on. That way a bit. Straight. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Oh my God.
Did we make it?
That is bloody perfect.
Woohoo! Oh, I wasn't nervous.
I was nervous about getting run over or then like tripping over the side as I jump out the way or something.
Nice, all right, let's get this strapped on and we're going to have a look at the M5.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it in a couple of weeks.
There she is.
Oh, it's got the whole back on it.
Yeah, she's a bit different, hey? I've actually been, I've been coming here a fair bit because Mark's been helping me out with obviously the labour for this bad boy. So he's letting me strip everything. So I've actually been coming here a fair bit and...
We should explain to him. So the original plan was to just try and pull it and see if you could get it good enough without replacing the quarter.
Yes, that didn't go to plan. It was, once they actually got it here and they got it on the chassis jig and started pulling it, it was a bit too much of an impact on that right-hand rear. So that's why the parts car had to come over. And now, believe it or not, that right-hand corner is actually from the parts car.
Like, we probably should stipulate as well, like, you could have got the outer limits of the panel correct, but there would have been too much filler and too much of a bit of a bodge than what we really wanted. So doing it this way, it's actually, I mean, we know now, and he hasn't finished the inside yet, but once the inside's all done, it will actually all look original. And Mark actually does a lot of insurance repairs, so it needs to be able to, you need to not be able to tell that it's been done.
That's the thing, yes, which I consider just being like, oh, because it's for me and I'm not going to sell this thing. I was considering just being like, yo, just make it look right on the outside and that'll do. But he was adamant that it's worth doing it properly. And I cannot believe it. I've got some pictures that I posted in the members group of updates when I come to strip stuff. So I'll overlay these in this video, but you couldn't believe it. They literally cut this outer shell off, and then you could see where it had wrinkled in the crash. There was sort of a section up the top, and then the chassis rail in the boot.
Yes.
And they've literally they unpicked all the welds, all the stitches, all the factory welds, and then did the same on that car with a little bit of excess from that car, and then just married everything up perfectly, got everything straight. But yeah, and then got everything to line up properly, and literally just took the the rear of the parts car, mounted it up, and because they've got all the measurements and stuff anyway, but literally got it perfect to the point just to that. And then again, they use that big welder that's under that sheet there, which is, it welds the same way that the manufacturers do it. And yeah, now you can't even, I actually had a good look when I come here to okay, there's more to this story. I'm getting excited, but I couldn't actually pick it, and I know exactly where the joins were, well, kind of where the joins were, because I got to see a lot of it. So now that it's at this point, I'm sort of in two minds. I'm wondering...
Oh, sorry, before you go any further, the roof as well.
Yes, I don't know if you remember.
This, because it had that impact on that corner, it actually bowed the roof slightly, and that's all now perfectly straight as well.
It is, and there was actually more to that as well. The bloody sunroof, I couldn't believe it, but the sunroof wasn't actually installed properly. It was installed, but one of the mechanisms that do the tilting and the sliding, it was off on one side. And that's why we couldn't get the sunroof up, because it was jamming.
Ah, and was that because of the impact, or was it a faulty sunroof?
It looks like it was a faulty sunroof. Stick the camera inside, have a look, and there is literally no interior left in this thing.
Oh, man.
It is completely, everything is gone. Which, that'll be my fun job to do once I actually get the car back, which I'm not really looking forward to.
Dave, it's all looking pretty good.
It looks amazing. I can't even remember if I told you, but part of the reason why they didn't want to just repair the damage was once they actually got inside and started pulling everything, there was evidence that, which I knew it had been written off before when I'm doing the check when I bought the car. I knew it was written off in 2013. And it looks like that crash was actually on this quarter as well.
So that write-off you're referencing, that was from before Ali got it. And Ali couldn't even tell that it had been an accident.
No, in which to be on the outside, you didn't know. It wasn't until, obviously it had another accident in the same spot. So I guess the work that they did got undone. But then, you know what Mark's like, he's pretty spot on. So he wasn't happy with the work.
He's very anal.
Yeah, and that's why he really wanted to use that quarter off the car, because he wasn't happy with the work that they had done previously.
And he's actually going to go repair the bad repair from 2013. So it should look bloody mint, dude.
Well, it's already, to me, it already looks like a different car. And now I'm in two minds. I'm thinking, because it looks like this, I'm now wondering, okay, as you can see, all of this is obviously going to get fresh new paint. So the rear half of the car is going to look brand new.
And the roof?
And the roof as well.
The doors doesn't actually need paint, does it?
This door doesn't. The left doors don't.
Does this door? That
door will be painted. It'll be, well, the door's not scratched, but they will blend the quarter into the door.
Right.
So that's getting a bit of paint. And the bonnet was getting paint because of all the stone chips.
Right.
But now I'm wondering, look, it looks so much better. Should I paint the rest of the car, the front half?
You did get a price on that. How much more is it going to cost to basically, so this car will then have a full respray?
Essentially, yeah, because it's already getting, well, half of it done.
And actually, that's just not being super anal. This was the bonnet that Ali took off and he replaced with a carbon bonnet. That needs respraying anyway. It's covered in stone chips.
Yeah, so that was already going to get done. That, the roof, and all this, and the back. And the front and rear bars as well.
And there's a couple of marks on the corner of this guard, just little things, nothing bad.
When I had the car at home, everything other than the damage, it looked absolutely fine. But now I know that the back end's going to be perfect, and I'll just be kicking myself if the front now looks a bit shit.
So, but it's more money, isn't it?
It's another couple grand on top of the repair.
Do you guys think he should spend the other $2,000 and end up giving it a full respray? Because it's only another 5 or 6 panels, I guess, and then everything will be like a brand new car.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I mentioned it before. I don't want to get rid of this thing. I don't want to sell this thing. Yeah, Supercharger. I miss it. Hey, I miss it.
You're going to keep it for the foreseeable future, as long as we don't have any emergencies that need to sell everything.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to.
And I think painting everything at the same time, because say in 5 or 10 years' time, this paint may fade at a different rate to the new paint as well. So if you get it all done at the same time, it's just going to look better for longer.
It's all the same paint, the same age paint around the entire car.
But guys, what do you think? That's another $2,000 that he could spend on mods, and he does want to get onto the mod train as soon as he can afford to.
I've got to race that 335 of yours.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one. And this is David's car. It is like how my car is what I want to do with it. This is what Dave wants to do. So he's not really sure. We don't split the costs on these cars. This is all coming out of his pocket. So encourage him to spend more money. That would be great.
If it's worth it. Because yeah, I know there's some people who have been saying that because it had a crash and stuff, it's not, you know, I should have put it into a wagon and all sorts of stuff, which would have been fine, but
we really wanted to do that wagon conversion. And we were talking about this May, June time.
Yes,
and since then, that coronavirus thing has killed everyone apparently, and everything's just got really expensive. Trying to buy one of these now.
One popped up the other day, 45 grand, in not a very desirable spec, not a nice colour, and over 200,000 kilometres.
So you've done the right thing by repairing this M5.
Absolutely,
because
flipped it.
M5s are now worth a lot more than they were 6 months ago.
And again, not that I want to sell it, but yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been. So that's where I'm at. What do you guys think of the repair so far? You probably can tell I'm stoked with it. I'm so happy with it. And
got no door handle there, Dave.
No, it is getting close to being finished. I reckon another two 2-ish weeks, something like that, and she'll be out of the paint booth, finished, but then obviously it's a matter of getting it home, and I've got to put all the interior back together, which is going to take some time as well.
Did he say how much longer it'll take if you do paint the whole car?
Probably not that much extra longer. Oh, actually, it probably will be. Maybe another week, something like that, just for the extra prep on the rest of the car to get it schmick.
All right, well, she's getting close. Well, that is an update on Dave's Supercharged M5. The repair was a bigger repair than we were hoping for.
But also a bigger success than I was really...
Yeah, the result of doing that is you've now got a better car than you started with. And it should be, once all the inside is actually done, because they haven't actually repaired the inside yet, and they're going to repair that.
Yeah, so they'll acid bath that, get it back to the raw metal, and then again do all the OEM seam welds, and yeah, like I already can't pick it on the outside, but they said no matter how much digging you do around the car, you won't be able to pick it on the inside as well. So I'm stoked with the job they've done. He's killed it.
All right, Dave, we're gonna get going. We're gonna get the trailer back within the hour rental.
Yep.
So we'll end this video off here. Make sure you comment below if you think he should paint the whole car, if he's just wasting money and he should spend it on going faster. That'll do.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.